Hi friends, today we are going to discuss about the Transgender Persons Protection of Rights Act 2019. I am Dr. Suresh Padadmat, Professor of Psychiatry, Head of Telemedicine Center, Head of Forensic Psychiatry Unit at NIMANS, Bangalore. Before I start my presentation, I would like to have a disclaimer. This presentation is for academic purpose only, not for legal opinion. If you would like to have a legal opinion, please do contact an advocate. Conflict of interest? None. In this video, we are discussing about the Transgender Persons Protection of Rights Act 2019. It was passed on 5th December 2019 to provide the protection of rights of transgender and the welfare. Now coming to the important part of the legislation, certification. Dear friends, there are two types of certification. One, certification of transgender and transgender ID card, section 4 to 6. Section 7 talks about certification of gender and gender ID card. The legislation is very clear. Under section 4 and 5, the transgender will apply to the district magistrate. The district magistrate where the transgender is living at least for past 1 year. Once it is applied, the district magistrate has to issue the certificate of transgender and also ID certificate. Once the transgender has got the certificate, if he has undergone sexual reassignment surgery or else he is planning to undergo SRS, once the SRS is done, he will again apply for change for the gender certificate. That is called as under section 7. And again, he will apply for the DM. The district magistrate, based upon the application, along with the affidavit and the transgender ID and a certificate from the medical officer who has conducted the surgery, or else the CMO, will give the certificate. On this basis, the DM, that is district magistrate, will issue a change in gender certificate. To conclude, my dear friends, this legislation is the first step to mainstream the transgender. However, this legislation has quite a bit of criticism. The criticism from the transgender community itself. The first one is the definition. They were very unhappy of including intersex. At the same time, legalizing the process of certification. That is, going to the court, applying for transgender certificate is one of the criticism. At the same time, requirement of an SRS to get the gender change certificate is one of the biggest criticism by the transgender community. And also, offences and penalties were also considered to be criticized by the transgender community because it gives only 2 years of imprisonment for sexual abuse of transgender. So this needs to be revised most probably in the coming days. At the same time, if there was a misuse of transgender ID certificate and the punishment has been clearly dictated under the legislation, that would have been amazing. But still, this legislation is the first step. Still a long way to go for transgender with regard to marriage, adoption, pension, job and education certification or reservation process. If you like this video, please do subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much for your patience listening and your time. Stay safe.